Nap Addicts. Number 613. If you're ready to rock and roll.
I just need to get YouTube up and running.
Sure thing.
Let's give you the right. Go to DoorToDoorGeek. There we go. Got a live symbol there. 613. Okay. How's your shoulder?
Oh, hurts like hell.
Yeah.
Waiting on surgery. Waiting on a couple surgeries. That's what sucks.
Yeah. I thought you had it fixed a little.
No. Well, I had one surgery with that scar you can see right there. Now I got to have the exact same surgery again. I'm sure. Okay, good to go. Record. We're good. We're good. Good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Addicts. This is episode 613. I'm speaking very slow, just making sure that everything looks caught up and everything looks like running good. My streaming rig is chugging, but I think it's going to be okay in the end. Speaking about being okay in the end. Hey, Ivor, how are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm great, man. Thank you. Excuse me.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, it's been a horrible week here. We've had rain and more rain. It's been cold. It's been about 8 degrees outside. But now we've finally got some fine weather. And I've last couple of days I've had the fire going non-stop. We've got a wood fire, keeps the house nice and toasty warm. And now we've had some sunshine and went outside, took the dog for a walk, enjoyed the sunshine. It was great.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we've been all over the place. It was like unreasonably mild for this time of year. And then all of a sudden in the last week, every now and then it shot up to be, like 90 plus degrees, which 33 plus degrees for you, which it isn't the heat, it's the humidity. But either way, hot. They both suck.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah. But I digress. How has everything going with you and your family?
Wonderful. Things are progressing along. My daughter is coming up for a visit on Sunday. So she's coming up for Christchurch and going to stay with us for a couple of weeks because it's a half-term break. So we're going to be doing lots of things with her. Tomorrow, I'm going to take my daughter to participate in the Lucia celebrations, which is about a 2-hour drive away from here. So Lucia is a Swedish ceremony that they have in midsummer, or I think it's in midwinter, which celebrates the coming of summer. So they have it usually on the shortest day. So we go down every year. All of my daughters have participated, and every year they do a roster so that once you turn 17 or 18, you get to be the main Lucia. If you know anything about Swedish culture, it's a big event. So that's something to look forward to tomorrow. And then my wife's birthday on this weekend as well. So got all that going on. Lots going on here.
That is definitely busy times. Yeah, I'm happy to say that now every child in my house graduated school. With that said, there's no doubt in my mind they literally just pushed my youngest one out because if they have too many people fail, they get reprimanded, and if they don't have enough people pass, they lose funding.
Oh, so they get rid of the ones who aren't going to pass.
Yeah, which is another
before they attempt.
Which is another recent example how government will never, ever, ever do as good of a job as anybody who actually cares about their job.
No,
I
exactly.
digress.
It has been a while since we last had a show.
Yes.
I can't remember when. I think it's been about 6 months.
It's been before I was apprehended and told I was resisting arrest when I was in my own doorway. But
yeah, did you want to talk about that?
because it isn't concluded yet. It will be concluded here very soon. Hey, Rich. And when it does, then I will talk about it. But until then, let's just mum's
Just
the
keep
word.
it on the QT. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just say the police came to visit Door one day a while ago.
Yeah.
It didn't end well.
In a very unfriendly manner, in a very unprofessional manner, in a very non-de-escalation manner.
Absolutely.
But could be worse. I could have been a person of color, which meant I might not be here today. Which is one of those sad truths. When it comes to Android hardware, I will say this Pixel 6a I still have is on its last legs. I mean, multiple cracks on the screen. It's randomly slowed down ridiculously, and I'm sure that's a Google OS thing because they can't stop fiddling kind of things. And except for that, everything's been, I'll say, normal around here. My Google Home Minis have been upgraded with Gemini voices, at least. Not going to say it's any better or smarter, but it's there.
Of course, you haven't mentioned your main hardware upgrade. You've actually installed Windows.
No, well, I installed Windows in my house, yes, and it wasn't me because I'm not touching them. Hired a contractor to come in.
New glass windows.
New glass windows, and of course, every single person who came in the house to do the job couldn't speak English because if they could, it would cost too much money. So I'm okay with them not speaking English because they did a really good job. I will say, south of me, a lady called up to get her roof done. And when she saw the people who came out, she kicked the ladders off of the side of her house and called up ICE.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not me. I appreciate people doing jobs I don't want to do. And I'm okay with paying them money.
Yep. I thought I'd never see the day where Door installed Windows.
Yeah, I know. Go figure. Thankfully, it's going to be the last time in my life, though, I'm pretty sure, because these are expensive windows. The brand name is Pella. And if anyone knows American window manufacturing, there's only like 3 manufacturers nationwide in the U.S. Anderson Windows is one of them. That's a much more popular name. Pella was a much more high-end. Now they've came down to a normal end type window. But yeah, quite expensive. Over $1,000 a window. Yeah.
Wow. Rich in the chat saying he says the same guys did his windows as well.
Yeah. And hey, if I could have said thank you in their language and not sound like a mental invalid, I would have. Instead, I just kept nodding and saluting and saying thank you.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's, $25,000 I'll never see again, but I digress.
Yeah. And if you're wondering how we managed to keep up with each other and the news going on in our respective families, we all have a Simplex chat. We used to have a Voxer chat, but now we're moved over to Simplex. You can still get us on Voxer. We still got it installed, I think, and it's still going. But we mainly use Simplex, Simple X. So if you want to look that up and join the AAA chat, go by all means. Just get hold of Door, and he can sort you out with that.
Yeah, I will give anybody the link, Simplex, whatever, how you want to pronounce it. It works very well. I will say there was a bunch of janky things in the past where Voxer was the best thing that ever existed for that kind of task. I will say the only Simplex is missing like 1 or 2 of the features, but it also has like 5 or 6 features that Voxer doesn't have, including it actually appears to be secure, where most of the other ones are not secure whatsoever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to have a main line going into Facebook, which is what Voxer had before.
Yeah. I will then say, since I have no new hardware, I'm going to guess you have no new hardware either.
Well, I kind of do. But it's a bit weird. So you know how I got a new car, a new BMW. Well, it's not exactly new. I got an old secondhand BMW, but I got it's the first car I've had. Like the car before that was an old 2007. Stick the key in, turn the key, it starts. But this one, you've got to have it's a remote sensor. You have the key on you. You don't actually need to put the key in the ignition. It just senses that you've got the right thing and starts when you press the button, which I took a bit of getting used to, but I got there. But then the battery ran out. So I went into the bloke in the key cutting kiosk, and I said, "Can you change the battery in this?" And he said, "Yep, sure." And he goes, "Have you got another one? Because you need a spare." And I said, "No, they only came with one set of keys, one remote." And he said, "Oh, well, if you want to try and replace this, it's going to cost you about $1,500 to get a new one from BMW." And I thought, "Ooh, that's a bit nasty." So I thought, well, I don't want to lose it. So I went down to the local electronic shop and I bought a tracker. And lo and behold, it was a tile tracker. Lo and behold, the app that makes the tile tracker work is Life 360. So the last show I think we did, I railed against Life 360 and said, please do not install this app. It's malware, it's spyware. But if you want your tracker tab to work, then you need to install this Life 360, and there's no way around it. So what I've done is I had to go and install Life 360, but I have shut down all the permissions and all the internet access, and I only re-enable them when I need to track where my keys are. It's been very handy for tracking where my son is when he's in the car, actually, because he's got the keys on him. We know where he is. But yeah, so I guess I had to kind of eat a bit of humble pie from installing Life 360.
So did you install it on your normal account, or did you install a work account or anything else?
No, I made up a new account with a different password and email address and so forth. I just made it. Yeah, it was nonsense.
Yeah, and that's like one of the measures that you can take to be more secure, because I will say, I think we need a new word, because to say secure or to say trusted is not really nuanced enough, because there's levels, you know what I mean? If I'm doing stuff that requires like personal identifiable information, I want as secure as possible. If I'm, looking at filament to buy for my 3D printer, I don't need security. You know what I mean? So each task I do, I sit down now, and I decide how much security in air quotes do I like, how much privacy would I like, how many would I like. And for the key tracker thing, I would install it, and then once I get my key back, I would take the tracker and I would give it to my kid or somebody, and say, you can do what you want with it. I'm done.
Right. So yeah, we got Red in the chat saying he uses the Samsung tracker fobs on his keys, which again is probably just as proprietary as 360. But why do we have to have separate keys, separate tabs, separate fobs? Why can't it all just work? I don't know.
Because in one sense, China wants to control this, and then America wants to control that, and then South Korea wants to control this, and then Russia is still 30 years behind. So
wait till they catch up. No, there was only one choice. It was this fob or nothing. Or the only other option was only one that worked with an iPhone. Right.
So
So it was this or nothing for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard decent things about the tile things, in the sense of that they work solid. They don't give you like fake information telling you you're 30 miles away kind of thing. So at least it seems like it's accurate.
Yep. Oh yeah, I mean, it's a good app when I use it, but the amount of data it wants is insane.
And I will just say, Rich, please stop doing narcotic drugs in the chat. Apple is in no sense way better than anybody else. None of them are good. They're all equally bad. The difference is you think there is security with Apple when there's not. There's Apple's security, and that's all that Apple cares about. They don't care about your security whatsoever. They don't care about your information whatsoever. They care about their company. They care about their bottom line. They care about their stock prices. They do not care about users, period. As long as their security is intact, they don't care. And their security is not intact. They literally just patched a 0-day flaw that was in existence for 3 years. So no, Apple is not any better than anybody else in any shape, way, or form when it comes to security or privacy. They lead in convenience, but I will say, to paraphrase Steve Gibson, security and convenience are on the opposite ends of an unbendable pole, and the two will never meet. So yes,
Damn
Apple's
right.
very, very convenient.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not secure.
I think my Audacity is stopped.
Well, we have a backup. At least we have at least one backup, I'll say.
It might still be working. I'm not getting any visual on it.
That's possible. Or maybe it just lags.
Yeah. I'm using my bathtub laptop, and it's only got 8 gig of RAM. That should be enough. That should be enough.
I will say, in the Android ecosystem, one of the things that I've done now for months and months and months, and I've been really making people mad, like really mad, is on Reddit. Anytime I see any application being posted from anybody, and if it has any in-app purchases, I immediately downvote with a single word reply or a single line reply, IAP space =, space downvote. And it's hilarious when a developer responds and says, "What's IAP?" That just shows you the quality of developers that are being out there, which I guarantee you right now, in the middle of 2026, a good 90 to 99% of every brand new application being posted out there is done by, in air quote, vibe coding, aka somebody who has no clue of what they're doing. They're just copying and pasting. And they're making garbage and they're putting it out there. Kind of thing.
AI slop.
Yeah. Well, no, not even AI slop, because it's the person that's doing it. It's people.
Yeah, but the coding they're coming up with is slop.
No.
Yeah, it's bad coding.
But the coding is coming from people. You understand that, right? You understand that, right? Yeah.
Yes,
people,
of course.
Because everything it's getting is getting from people. You know, and people put out a lot of garbage. And people say a lot of garbage things, and people say a lot of things they think are truths. And they put it out there, which is one of the reasons why AI, in air quote, hallucinates. It doesn't hallucinate. It's just as stupid as the people who are out there believing the earth is flat or insert a billion other different things. Yeah, it's as stupid as the people putting the data in it.
Garbage in, garbage out. The old
garbage in,
story,
garbage out. That is the story of computing since, man, the 60s or 50s.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I remember those days.
Yeah. I will say I went a little bit nuts installing a couple things on my phone as of late, and at least one or two of them I'm not going to be able to pronounce. The first one is, it starts with a K, V, A, E, S, I, T, S, O. Putting it in the chat now. Cavesto. I'm going to say Cavesto because I have no idea how it should be pronounced. And I'm pretty sure my streaming rig again is going to start to choke. Wow. And Google is automatically translating it to quasi-sense. It thinks it's a foreign word. I don't know if you see that in the YouTube chat. But I did not put in YouTube chat quasi-sense. Let me see if I can get the... that just shows you how utterly different this is. Let me make sure I get this looking at the right page. Okay, showing the picture now on the screen. It is a search-focused Android launcher, Cavesto, is what I'm guessing is how it's pronounced. KVAESITSO. Yes, it's that. And I will say it is incredibly text focused. I will say it does take a touch of time to get used to get accustomed to. But basically, on the home screen, it can be blank or you can add widgets to it. If you slide down, you have your app drawer and your app search. And then if you slide up, you have your widgets and your search box and other things like that. Cavesto is how I'm going to put it. It does seem light. It does seem solid. It does seem like it's working fairly well. The built-in search, I think, works really good. I like the fact that when you put a Firefox search or a DuckDuckGo search in place of the Google search, it doesn't look completely out of place. It definitely has a visual difference looking with it, but it technically works, is what I'm going to say. And because my phone is now at least 4 years old, I'm going to say, I'm definitely going to start to get lighter and lighter applications on it, not to mention home screen launchers, because that's my thing.
Sorry. Explain this to me again. What does it do?
It's basically a home screen launcher.
Okay.
It's just extremely more light. They call it a text-based launcher. I'm going to say sure.
Yes. Right. Sorry, I was preoccupied with doing something else, trying to find something else while you were talking. I should have listened.
All good. Yeah, it is advertising itself as a search-focused, free open source launcher for Android, which I will say I'm getting more and more accustomed to things that work at my speed, is the way I'll put it. And I'm perfectly okay with a search-focused launcher. It forces me to remember the app.
Bugger. Sorry about that, guys.
Should be back up and now. Just give it a second. I could blame an Apple product on it, but I don't have any Apple products.
Well, speaking of Apple products, my daughter, we took a new approach to cell phones. She needed a new. Now there we are. We're back up. My daughter needed a new cell phone, so we decided, instead of me determining what phone she should have and how much to spend on it, I said, right, here's $300. You go and buy your own phone. And she did. I was expecting her to go and buy a cheap Android or something, and she came back with Lumia launcher. That's the one, Metro launcher, Lumia style. Yeah, I think that's it. Or Metro UI. No, it's not the Metro UI. I'm sorry, but yeah. So she went and bought an old secondhand Android 12 that had been refurbished for $300.
Wow, didn't think you were going to say
not an
that.
Android. Sorry, no, it wasn't Android. It was an iPhone. She bought an iPhone.
Right.
I tried to hide my disappointment.
Well, the good news is
it's actually a pretty good phone.
The good news is you don't have to hide your disappointment, because since it's 3 years old, that means it might have maybe a year left until Apple sends out
it's going to die soon. Yeah,
sends out the codes to kill it automatically.
The battery's going to die. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say it's almost hysterical about how phones have again become not exciting, is what I'm going to say. There are different people putting out different form factors of phones, but it's become incredibly boring. Everyone is on the AI train except for Apple, because Apple's website is still in HTML. They're literally now pushing 25 years behind in at least website technology, and in phone technology, they're literally now 5 years behind. Yeah, you get great battery life because you're using a 5-year-old phone. You'll have that when you use a 5-year-old phone. Just saying.
Well, I mean, there are some interesting ones, but they're hugely expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Oppo Find N6, foldable phone, does everything, fantastic cameras. It's really all you want, but it's $3,500.
Yeah,
can't believe it.
Well, and we're not going to see prices come down, I think, any time soon, is what I'm going to say.
No. Sorry. 15 two models up from one I've got, because
Mm.
one I've got is really good. It's great, but he got it, and it's a dog. It's he got his. It's just nothing works on it. He can't run more than one program at a time. He can't connect to Bluetooth. He can't. His internet's really bad. The process is terrible. So I was that was be the one I was going to buy next time, but he ended up getting a Samsung.
Right. Well, I
So
mean,
got a Samsung and an Apple in the family.
yeah. I mean, Samsung, the only thing I will say everyone at least should realize is the good thing about Samsung is they're not made in China. They're South Korean. It's different. I'm not going to say one's better or worse than the other. I will say it just is what it is, kind of thing. The more that time goes on, though, I will say the more Moto UI and Samsung UI 1 looks more like the normal Google experience, and the more the Google normal experience moves on, the more the Pixel experience looks more like the Apple experience, and the more time that where the Apple experience moves forward, the more it looks like the Android experience. So it's like pretty soon, I do believe that there's going to be very little differences between all of them. To where to be different, you're going to have to go back to the old days of side loading a different operating system altogether, or something to that effect.
Speaking of sideloading, I know we touched on this last time we talked. I think we were discussing the issue with sideloading apps in Android. I'm not sure when that comes in. It's in September or something, isn't it? That's going to be changed.
I'm just going to put it like this: it's nothing. It's garbage. It's a headline grabber. It's just like the U.S. Outlawing routers from overseas. It's talk. It's just talk. It's just talk to try to get people to talk. There's little doubt in my mind that they are going to make it to where when you do install something, you are going to have to, a third-party app, you're going to have to take an extra step, an extra click, an extra something. But just like right now, if you have a brand new, fresh install and you go to install an APK, it doesn't let you. It prompts you and says, there's a security thing. Is this something you want to do? And then you have to click something, and then it says, are you sure this is what you want to do? And then you have to click something else, and then it launches your settings, and then you have to go down and click enable. Then you have to go back and you have to relaunch it again. So they've already made it to where it's not a seamless process. They already made it to where normal users will never do it because they're terrified by those prompts. But I don't think it's ever going to, in air quote, completely go away, partially because it can't, because this is still Linux under the hood. This is still open operating system under the hood. There's always going to be hooks and crooks a way around those kind of things. And I think to a degree they know that. And to a degree, the US government, I'll say, likes it because the perfect example is in top level of federal government, there is no iPhones anywhere to be seen because they don't control the stack Apple does. When it comes to the most secure things, they always have been, and they always will be something else. Right now, they are Android devices because the infinite customizations are there, including loading their own secure operating system, including importing their own secure enclaves is the right word. So, that's just for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately we'll be able to get around it, but from what I saw, Google was going to make you wait 24 hours before you could install an app.
No, and I'll be happy to place a bet. That's not happening. Instead, the opposite is going to happen. You're going to install something, and then 24 hours later, it's going to prompt you and say, "You installed this. Did you mean to do that?"
I'm
Because
getting those prompts on my phone at the moment when I install stuff from F-Droid. It's this app might be unsafe. It has permissions that might endanger your safety.
Yeah,
really?
And there's no way they're ever going to stop what they're trying to stop, because what they're trying to stop is somebody from saying, look, This is Bob from the IRS. You owe us $1 million. And if you don't do exactly as I say, then you're going to go to jail forever. Go to this website, install this on your phone, or go to the store, get these gift cards, or go to your banking. Either stupid exists. Okay. They're never going to be able to stop stupid. They can try, but this is not a good way to do it, is what I'm going to say. Third-party apps to me are not the thing that's taking down governments or ecosystems. Yeah. So they can do this kind of thing. I don't think it's ever going to actually take off. And I'm sure they're going to keep teasing it, and they're going to keep doing it because they want to be in the news. They want to be in the headlines. And this is a really good way to do it.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. But the other day you sent through something on the Simplex chat about, what is it, a Linux phone that was like about €600 and had a removable battery, and
yeah,
it looked bloody good, I have to say. I'm tempted to get one for my next phone.
Well, removable batteries are again coming back, and they're coming back no matter what Samsung says, no matter what Apple says. The EU has basically mandated it. All phones starting, and I want to say it was 2028, have to have user replaceable batteries. So it's coming back. It's just the way it is. We're going to have to get over it, kind of thing. Our phones are going to become a little bit less slim and thin. That phone was using the EOS operating system, which we've seen now at least on a couple different instances. So I will say, I do think the more normal people that actually understand what's being copied and what's being taken away from you when you use a popular off-the-shelf phone, the more these kind of little third-party things are going to pop up and become a little bit more popular. One of the other ones making a huge leap in the last year is Fairphone. Where now they're coming out with other hardware as well. I want to say the rumor mill is they're going to come out with a phone, a watch, and I can't remember now if it was earbuds or
earbuds. Yeah.
Earbuds. Yeah.
Some earbuds. Yeah.
And I'm very cool with that. That's one of those companies I would really like to see get some more traction.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was quite impressed with the specs on that Linux phone that you sent through. They seemed quite. They weren't up there, but they were good. They would still be a good, reliable, dependable phone. You know, decent battery size, decent bloody RAM. You know, decent processor. Nothing like a top flagship level, but it would last, and it would perform well. That's what people want. I'd like to have an option where I can de-Google without having to buy a Pixel phone and install Graphene OS.
Which is like the most ironic thing ever, if I'm using the word correctly. I never know. Yeah. To become de-Googled, you have to buy the most Googled thing ever.
Yeah. And then jailbreak it and do all sorts of stuff. I mean, Josh is doing that at the moment, and he's enjoying it, but he's having troubles as well getting things to work that he normally would rely on.
Yeah, I will say I got 3 trips ahead of me in the next 14 months. And I will say the one place where an authentic Google device with an authentic Google operating system on it can make things easier is in the lines with TSA, with security, with passports, with those kinds of things, because with the official Google Wallet app, you can store those kind of things in there, including digital driver's license, even depending on the state, kind of thing, where with the alternate operating systems, in air quote, 99% sure you can't do any of that. So I'm going to be measuring what's going to be happening here for the next 14 months and see what is our mode of transportation is going to be, where are we going to be going through, and if I think I can get away with it, I really am going to go out of my way to install. The one that I was going to install was the EOS, not Graphene, because with EOS, I know my device was 100% supported, and it really did look like it was almost a one-step process to installing that operating system, where it didn't require command lines, debugging, and all this other kind of thing. It literally went through a browser and supposedly overwrote your operating system.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people are going to go after this, depending on how intrusive Google gets with its sideloading issues. But if you're sideloading, you're probably already pretty comfortable with using alternative software approaches.
Yeah. Speaking of alternative software, one of the alternative pieces of software that we have went out of our way to try to find a good replacement for was Gboard, Google Board. And I will say the things about Google Keyboard, the Gboard, is, in air quote, it just works. There's very little fiddling you have to do. There's very little things you have to do. It learns as it goes. And it only becomes a little bit more solid with time. So to try to replace such a thing is not easy. The keyboard I'm using right now is called Heliboard, HELIBOARD. And to get swipe enabled, you have to basically download a separate driver in the Linux Android ecosystem. The driver is a .so file, so you can go and download the SO file directly from Heliboard, or you can extract it yourself from a Google Gboard installation if you want that feature. And all you got to do is basically get that file, go into the keyboard, go into settings, go into advanced, and basically there's a setting of the option on the very bottom that literally says load driver. And if you hit that and bam, then you have swipe keyboards again. Otherwise, I will say this is a perfectly acceptable keyboard. There's nothing that I'm seeing that it does spectacular. The swipe accuracy, it's like learning all over again. This is like when we used to first get swipe keyboards like 10 years ago, to where the first week it would constantly, when you would swipe, put something completely nonsensical in its place. And then after time, it would get better. I'm still in kind of the middle early stages to where sometimes I swipe and then I look up and I'm like, what the hell is that word? Nowhere by where I was going, but it's not the Google keyboard, and so far it's working adequate enough is the way I want to put it.
Yeah, why doesn't it use Glide straight out of the box? Why do you have to install a separate library?
Because it's a proprietary technology they're using. They're basically leaning on the Gboard driver for that functionality, because I'm guessing it's either too difficult to develop their own, or to use the word algorithm in a correct way. pointing to use the word algorithm the correct way. The Google keyboard algorithm just, I guess, understands better what word should come after the next word, or, you know what I mean? Where without that, the swiping would be even more inaccurate.
Yeah, SwiftKey is the same. I use SwiftKey.
You use Microsoft?
Yes. To my shame. Although I changed my Microsoft.
Wait. So you're using a Metro launcher
with a SwiftKey keyboard. Yeah.
Microsoft keyboard.
I know.
What's coming next, Ivor? I'm just saying. Don't sneak this up on me, okay? Just be honest.
Yeah. I'm not buying an iPhone, put it that way. Well, I have been a bit privacy focused in the last few weeks. I don't know if you remember, a little while ago I sent you a rather surprised screenshot of my phone, indicating that my mobile banking app was actually sending information to Adobe. And the way I found that out was by using an app called Exodus on F-Droid. I don't know if you've heard of it. I'll just put a link in the chat here.
Thank you.
So Exodus is a great little app. You get it on F-Droid, and it will tell you exactly what trackers are installed on your phone and which apps are sending what trackers to which companies. And so I noticed that Exodus was telling me that my mobile banking app was sending information to Adobe for no reason. I don't understand why they need to send my information, my banking information, to Adobe, and how secure that is, or anything like that. So I started getting a bit more interested in trackers and what apps are sending what information around. And I found another app called Ad Detective, which is a great little app, and it gives you a little score on the privacy of your apps. And so it shows you each app and the privacy of them. So there's about 3 apps involved in this. So I'm going to go through a bit of a chain of apps. But if you start with Exodus, move on to Ad Detective. Ad Detective will give you a nice little view of how many trackers are sending what where and that sort of thing. And but it doesn't give you an option to block them. You can't tell it to stop. It will just tell you what's going there. Same with Exodus. So the next app I found was another app called Tracker Control, which I think is a kind of a tried and trusted one. It's been around for a while. TC Slims. Study app tracking. That's not right. Study tracker libraries and contracted tracker domains and apps. So it is the right one. Sorry, I'll get the link here. So, but the only thing that's disappointing about the Tracker Control app, because you can block the trackers, but it sets up a VPN to do it. So you have to run a VPN.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that will automatically break a lot of apps. But one thing I do like about this app is that it will allow you to exclude apps from the VPN, but still block the trackers in them. So, like your banking app, if it breaks, if you're running a VPN, you can exclude it from the VPN, but it will still remain. You can block the tracker to stop any information coming out of your phone. So yeah, there's a little combination of apps you can use to have an assessment of how good your privacy is and what apps you've got installed going where. Fortunately, I came up with like a 95% of my apps are not sending tracking information out, but 5% are. And there was another app called Faux, FAUXX, which generates false information. I sent that through a little while ago as well. And that will actually generate information or browsing history or cookies or whatever from that's completely made up. It's just total bogus stuff. So Google now thinks I'm a 17-year-old squash player who's into lacrosse.
So it sends out fake information.
Fake information. Yeah.
I'll say when I've seen that word, I've heard it pronounced Fox.
Fox. Okay, it could be false. Yeah.
Like French. I believe it's French for faulty or something like that. But I will say the middle app you sent, Ad Detective.
Ad Detective. Yeah.
I'm slightly suspicious of the app.
Yeah.
And the only reason why is I'm running a Pixel operating system, the Pixel phone, with nothing else, no security thing on it at all, and it gave me a score of like 94 or something.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, no, this thing should get like a score of like 10.
Well, I think this is for ads, how secure you are against ads itself.
I'm running a Google Pixel phone with no security thing on there. If anything, I'm an ad machine.
Yeah, it should be like 10%.
Yes, not 90.
Yeah.
But of course, if it wouldn't shock me if I then go back to a phone like 5 years ago and boot it up and install it, then it might get a score of like 20 just because today's modern things are just, in air quote, better.
Yeah. Well, I'm using a private DNS. So using AdGuard as the private DNS setting, which also doesn't work with the VPN on TC Tracker. So that's another pain in the bum. But so the private DNS automatically blocks the ads. which is great. And I think that's why I got a higher score on Ad Detective.
Gotcha.
But try them out yourself. Let us know how much you got if you run the score.
Yeah. Now,
do you have problems with apps sending you information everywhere? The other good thing about TC, the Tracker Control app, is that it will show you exactly which countries your data is going to. So it takes the trackers and says, okay, this information is going to China, this information is going to USA, this information is going to Norway, this information is going hither and yon. It's really good to see. Really, really good option to try and control what's coming out of your phone, where it's going.
Right. And now, thank you for saying that. That's why I think my phone is getting a higher score than I would expect, because in the past, it was much easier for all of my information to leak to other areas, whether it be China, whether it be whatever I install on my phone, where Google is doing a much better job of making sure they get the data and not everybody else in the world.
Yeah, right.
So that could be a reason I got the score that I got.
Yeah, needless to say, I emailed my bank and said, why are you sending information to Adobe? And I haven't heard from them.
Oh, I'm sure they're like, excuse me, because they don't have no idea. And I can tell you how it's happening, or, you know what I mean? Your bank is bought software because they didn't design it themselves. They bought software to use, and the software that they bought is made by a company that's using an Adobe product in the building of their software. And in the building of that software, there's terms and agreement that says we are going to put tracking in here so we could monitor the health of the thing to make sure our software is not being misused, but also to help enhance customer satisfaction. I'm sure is the kind of terminologies they use.
Yeah.
So
we take your safety seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
We're working close with our partners.
We take
these are words.
Your security seriously. We take your security. Yes.
The security. Seriously, we do.
Seriously. Okay.
Well, it depends where the comma is, isn't it?
Yes, it does. Punctuation is very important. Okay, so the next one I'm going to bring, I brought because there were certain applications that I had appearing in my notification list, and I said to myself, actually, I didn't speak to myself. I like need to figure out a way to not kill these apps, not bother these apps, but I want these apps to run. I just don't need to have a constant notification telling me about this. And it's literally from the F-Droid store called Noti Filter, I want to say, Notifilter. And if you are at all accustomed with computer type languages and escape characters, for instance, it is very easy to set up filters to say, hypothetically, I want my here's my example I'm going to use. I have Simple X installed. I have this guy who won't stop annoying the hell out of me constantly. I mean, he's a nice guy, but he won't stop. Okay. His name's Permanerd, and we're just going to leave it at that. Okay. And I don't want to see his notifications at all. But if in the AAA chat, Ivor or Josh pings me, I want to see that notification. So quite literally using this application, I can say, if a Simple X chat includes the words Permanerd, just don't even show it to me. And then voila, I see my notifications from Josh and from Ivor, but not from this other really super annoying guy that has been driving me nuts. But he means well. He's a nice guy. You know, it isn't like he ran for U.S.
president
political office or anything. But it is one of those applications, in my humble opinion, I can say it's small, it's light, it's thin. It does what it says it's going to do. It doesn't do anything else. And it doesn't get a lot of updates because it doesn't need to have a lot of updates because it's an incredibly simple application that just does hide notifications based on certain strings.
Cool. I have tried that one.
Yeah.
I don't get a lot of notifications.
Well, we could change that, but I don't think you would want that.
You're damn right. Now, another big thing that's been in the news lately is Plex. this is kind of off the track.
I know, and it's going to hurt, man. It hurts.
Have you still got your subscription? You get a lifetime subscription or what?
Now again, between me and you, I don't have a subscription at all, but a very good friend of mine who is getting ready to retire from his jobs, and his wife is getting ready to retire. They have no kids, and they're literally going to travel for the rest of their lives. They figured out they can afford it. He has a Plex per subscription plan from way back, and he said basically he's going to give it to me. So I'm just going to hold out, and when that happens, I'll get his account, and then I can update everything, and then be like a normal person on Plex again. Where right now, I can take advantage of other people's having that plan, but no one can see my content anymore because I'm just a peon.
Yeah. So for anybody who's not up to speed on that, Plex basically changed the rules so that if you wanted to view other people's media from other people's libraries, you had to have a Plex subscription. And then about a year after that, they decided to, was it double or triple the cost of an annual subscription?
I think it was triple.
It was triple. Yeah. It was really bad. I mean, I can't use it anyway because I've got a Starlink internet, so it's no good for me for sharing anything on my library. So I had to give it up. But I did find that having the ability to run a media server from my office and have it on my smart TV and just have access to my library there, rather than taking my hard drive and plugging my hard drive into the TV itself, which is kind of the next best option, I suppose. But I had a look for some alternatives, and I had a look. I found Emby, EMBY. I think you recommended that to me, Dor. Mm-hmm. Now, Emby is really good. It has a fantastic live TV, sort of Android TV interface. Very easy to navigate, very easy to use, very easy to set up. It's all it's great, and you can share it with other people as long as they're on your network. You can share it with other people, but not because I have Starlink. I can't share it outside my own network. But I've been using it quite happily for ages, and then I realized that all of my all the shows I was watching were in 1080p, even though the source file was 4K. So I wanted to stream in 4K. I couldn't. Now it does stream outside the network in 4K. It does stream from other apps in 4K. Wow. But it will not stream internally in anything more than 1080p. Huh. So if it's weird. I just can't understand it. I assume that if you subscribe to their $12 a month plan, you can increase the streaming speed of the service. But that was really, I've got a 4K TV. Why not use it? Especially on an internal network. If I'm not just pulling it in from outside, I'm just going from my living room from my office to my living room.
Right.
It should be able to do it in 4K. Which was a real bummer. But then I decided, well, okay, I'll install a third-party YouTube app on my TV. It took me half a day to get this thing on there. It was a real struggle, technological Titanic struggle to get this bloody app on. I installed an app called Pipe, which is one I use on my phone, and I installed that on my TV, and it works really well. The navigation options are really janky. You can't really navigate very well, but you can figure it out and eventually get there. But that will stream in above 1080p until about last week when YouTube broke 4K streaming for non-YouTube apps. So it's just every time I try something, I always end up getting cut back to bloody 1080p. And something goes wrong, or there's some change gets made, and you have to wait for an update. And I suppose I should just get Netflix and be done with it.
You can say that, but man, I'm gonna tell you, man, it is getting, to me, it's getting really bad again. To where Roku was just sold to Fox, I believe it is. Yeah. We are going to have again like a explosion of stuff being removed from other services. You could be like halfway through season 4 of this show, and all of a sudden, boom, it's just going to disappear from services, kind of thing. And we're paying more, I think, more than ever per hour for our content, which Yeah, I'm just so I'll sit with the wife and I'll watch whatever she's watching, but I'm not like letting myself getting captured or taken away or becoming reliant on any of these services. If I can come downstairs and load up the castle or the Drew Carey show season 1 kind of thing, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't need the other stuff. I feel like SpongeBob out of water. I don't need it. I don't need it. But yeah, I mean,
I've never watched SpongeBob. So sorry.
I blame it because I had kids and I had to watch it. But you know, that's
I've got kids, but yeah, we never watched it for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, so still in search of a 4K streaming option for at home. I'm sure I'll find one day.
Well, I will say there's Embry, there's Jellyfin. Yeah, I know.
I haven't had good things about Jellyfin.
Anybody I know who speaks highly about Jellyfin, it turns out they've never installed it, or they're the kind of people that would be happy eating dog chow for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? Because it is a horrible application with a horrible interface that does nothing for sharing.
Yeah.
It is really, to me, one of the worst solutions I've ever seen in my life. And then there's the other one that I played with was called Streama, Streama. And again, it's like Embry in the sense of, you know, you have decent looking interface, but it's only you. You can't share your stuff out. I really hope that before Plex does a full internal combustion supernova, we do have solutions where we can literally share our libraries with each other and have a centralized search to where I can just go into one box and search, and it will search my files, Ivor files, and somebody else's file. And I don't have to, you know, worry about that. We still don't have that. I need that in order for me to be able to present it to the wife as a viable option moving forward. That doesn't cost, you know, $15 a month or $20 a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that just forces me back into the world of torrenting.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to find a torrent on your phone, and this is where I actually get most of my torrents, if I was to download anything, this is where I would use. This is called Torrent Search, and I'll just, again, put the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Torrent Search, you want to put something in there, put it on, install it on your phone, put your search in for whatever you want to watch, whether it's a TV series, whether it's anime, whether it's a documentary, whether it's anything you like, it's got it there. It'll pick up the torrent file. Then you need to install another app called BiglyBT, the torrent downloader. Again, another F-Droid app. And I'm just putting the link in here. There it is, BiglyBT. And BiglyBT will automatically download that torrent for you. So you can use a magnet link or download the torrent itself. And so the combination of those two, a bit of a combination day today, Dor. We're having combinations of apps. So we have just the torrent search, and we've got the BiglyBT. Those two together, you can get anything you like. But again, if you want to watch it in 4K, good luck.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not as easy, apparently. Unless, of course, again, you want to carry around a USB drive around your house.
Well, exactly. Yeah, not ideal.
No, but
I mean, I just got home, so my dog might start barking soon.
Gotcha. Well, on the bright side, you have like $7,000 worth of hard drives in your house.
Couldn't believe that. Is that right? Did you pay $4,000 for an 8 terabyte hard drive?
They've kind of went crazy since in the last year. Yeah, they've kind of went nuts. My son has a desktop computer he built now over a year ago, like 2 years ago, with 64 gigs of RAM. He is contemplating taking out 32 gigs of that RAM and selling it. Just because he knows he can get good money for it, to which I'm like, well, dude, I'm gonna tell you now, if you do it, every second you wait is not good. Because long and the short of it, between me and you, there's multiple ways to fix any kind of computer issue. The first way is you throw money at it, you just get more hardware. And that's what they've been doing. That's what they've all been doing now for like a year and a half with all this AI crap, just buying more hardware, buying more hardware, buying more hardware. I don't know if you remember the rumblings. Microsoft, like 3 months ago, figured out how to make their large language model compilation, when they make the large language model, use half the RAM. Okay. So you can become more efficient with your code. When you become more efficient with your code, then you don't need as much hardware, then prices can come down. The other way that stuff can change, and this is the slowest one by all, is hardware generational improvements, which we have not seen in this world for years. We have not seen anything close to generation changes in hardware. Now, with that said, Ivor, I don't know if you heard, but China has been told that they can't buy the highest of the highest end chips. So Kieran has went out of their way to innovate in other ways. They've started a process where a lot of the energy and a lot of the waste in modern computer infrastructures, the big data center kind of thing, infrastructure, is heat. Okay. Heat happens when data needs to be transmitted a lot of the times. Okay. It's because whenever you transmit data over anything, there's always going to be residual heat that's being given off because we do not have superconductors. Long and short of it. Okay. Kieran has figured out how to take a chip and in post-production fold it in half on top of itself to where what used to have to travel the entire length of the chip now only has to travel a very little bit. Basically, it's like time travel, but it's like warp travel, but on a chip, where they've said they figured out how to do it. And if they did do that, we are going to see an incredible improvement in lack of heat and lack of power being needed for processors.
That's good news.
Which could bring prices down a great deal. Unless, of course, we just want to put data centers in space and we don't care.
Or at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, or at the bottom of the ocean. Yeah. Could be worse.
Have you ever seen how a CPU is made? How a chip is made?
Yeah.
It's incredible. The engineering involved is insane.
Well,
absolutely insane.
The latest engineering is literally magic. Okay. Because the latest one is you have a drop of material come out and it gets spit. And when it gets spit, it gets hit with the laser. And then when it gets hit with the laser, the ball of material becomes a flatter disc of material. Then while it's still in the air, another laser hits it again. And then when the second laser hits it, then it starts to become even flatter and start to evaporate. And then it's still in the air. A third laser hits that. And it's literally the size of like, and then it lands in the exact spot, micron wise, smaller than like 1/100th human hair. That drop then lands at the exact spot where they intended to land all the time. The fact it works is nearly like magic.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it has to happen in a bath of nitrogen gas as well.
So, well, yes and no. No. They literally had to figure out, well, if they just left it pure nitrogen gas, what would happen is then there was a buildup that would happen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But so that then they had to figure out this concoction of different gases and blow at a certain rate, at a certain angle, in a certain way to make sure that it does it. Oh my, the literal. I can't believe we actually made it to the moon 50 years ago. I can't believe we made something 50 years ago that's now outside of our solar system and it still works. And I can't believe that we figured out how to do this in a repetitive fashion to make these chips that we do.
Well, it's no wonder they take so long to manufacture, and why there's such a shortage, because man, so much can go wrong, and the hardware required to pull it all together, the technical expertise, it's just incredible, absolutely amazing. It's a wonder of our century, I'd say.
Well, and it takes forever to build up the infrastructure to build the infrastructure that it needs to then make to have the place to make the things that make the things to make the chips. It takes forever. And it doesn't matter how much RAM we use, it will take 3 years to start breaking ground until you have a facility to make more RAM chips. That's how complicated they are. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's crazy.
So yeah, the fact that we can at least afford a supercomputer in our pocket is amazing. And the fact that we actually figured out how to make millions of these in a year and not have, like back in the day, if this was 200 years ago, sure, we'd be able to make this kind of thing. But 10 people a day in the plant would die because there'll be either toxic things or accidents or whatever. You know what I mean? The simple fact that none of that happens now. And now you have people that they're so upset, they'll just jump out of a building. They'll just jump out of a window.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah. Wow. No, I think you and I watched the same documentary about that. It was amazing. Incredible.
Yeah. There was like 2 or 3 I watched. And there is I don't know where nationality she is. There's the YouTuber who she dresses very conservatively is the way I'll put it.
Okay.
Kind of thing, like not even a neckline showing. And she speaks in some accent. I have no idea what the hell it is, but she literally used to design chips, and she goes through all the different chip things that are going on. And then, I watched like 2 documentaries in the last month with the ASML EV. No, it's not EV. It's now Ultra EV, I think, is the highest one, where they're making the chips and all the stuff that goes behind it is like, yeah. Thank God we have people in this world smarter than me, because if it was up to me, none of this stuff would be figured out at all.
Yeah, well, exactly. Same here. Thank God you don't rely on me.
Yeah. Okay. I will give a light app rundown, if you will.
I've got one more.
Oh, got one more. Good. Shoot it. Throw it.
Okay. This has nothing to do with torrents or anything like that. But I love the fact that this app exists. I've never used it. I've had it installed on my phone for about, 6 months now. I've never used it, but I love the fact that it exists. And it's called Toolbox. And this app has like 1 billion functions in one app. It gives you calculations, it gives you compass, it gives you file encryption, it gives you random flip a coin things. It has a counter, it has a music analyzer, it has a server pings, it has basically everything. It's even got the game of life on it if you want to play the game of life. It's got national anthems, it's got QR readers, it's got ping analyzers, it's got everything. And you can spend hours just going through each individual app, and it's a great format as well. So the user interface is very simple. It's all gray, black and white, no flash colors or dancing bears or anything like that. It just it has all these different functionalities that you never knew you needed and probably never will need. But I think it's great. I think it's one of those apps that you should have on your phone just in case.
Just in case, exactly. Well, and if you don't know what the game of life is, it is such a beautifully simplistic way of representing an ecosystem where it's a very simple math thing that if this is true, create more. If this is not true, don't create more. But it can end up in very visually pleasing type of experiences, the way I'll put it.
Okay, so I've got my headphones running on Bluetooth, and because I've lost the audio cable that runs into the computer from them, and now I'm running out of battery on my headphones. So we probably better wind it up. And
Okay.
Start again next week. Sorry.
No, all good. Now for the light app rundown, which I can't actually do because I'm an American. I can't do a good job at anything. Okay. We're going to start with Kvetsuto. That's what I'm calling it. Then we have Metro Launcher. I also have their Lumia Launcher because I'm not sure exactly which one, so I put both of them in there. Then we have Heliboard. Then we have Exodus. Then we have Ad Detective. Then we have TC slim study
Just
app
search tracker control.
Yeah. And so I'm sure I missed one in there. Oh, Ad Detective. Then we have Not I Filter, MB, Torrent Search, Big Lee BT,
Yeah.
Big Lee BT, and then Toolbox. Easiest way to get in contact with us is aaa@podnutz.com. You can also give us a phone call at 867-5309. No, that's not it. That's not it. I can't remember for once.
0800 Podnutz.
Sure. Yeah, that's it. And I will say again, thanks for everyone with their patience with us. Thanks for everyone with their support. I want to thank Rich and Red and Aaron, everybody for coming out. It's always good to hear from you guys. It's always good to see you guys. Rich, we need to figure out a way to actually hang out. And we have Rob Collins also came out. Thank you guys very much. And with that said, hopefully we will talk to you again in about a week, and we might have somebody from British Columbia to help with a little stuff.
Absolutely. That'd be great.
Thanks,
cool. Guys. Great to see you. Cheerio.
Take it easy. Put that up there. Come down here. Hit stop on my Audacity. Oh, wait. Helps if I hit stop. Hit the wrong button. And let me come here and say File. First, we have to save project as to make sure it don't go boom. And it was 613, I believe. Yeah, I understand. I have other headphones here next to me that are Bluetooth as well, but they have the cable you can use. I have no idea what my kid did with the cable.
Yeah, this is a stupid thing. The going into the headphones is a 2.5 mil microphone jack, and going into anything else is a 3.5 mil.
Right.
So 2.5 of one end, 3.5 of the other. So no other cable will work with them. It's so infuriating. So what are we here? We're 613, is it? What
yep, 613. 613.
Unlucky for some.
Okay.
613. I think my Audacity died halfway through. Yeah, only got 9 megabytes.
Fuck. Yeah, 9's a little tiny.
That's what my wife says.
Exactly. Well, it could be worse. I will pull down the audio from the YouTube then. Shouldn't be difficult.
Yeah, I'll send you what I've got.
Okay, perfect.
I'll have to use my other computer next time.
Gotcha.
Sorry, mate.
All good.
So it's Opus format, isn't it?
OGG.
Sorry. OGG Vorbis, yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the what's the word? Casualties. When you don't do a podcast a lot, this kind of thing creeps up always.
Yeah. Is there anything we can do to do a bit more regular?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
going to kill the live stream so I can start the post-processing process. Jeez, man. All right, Red. Take it easy, man.
Cheerio.